In this video, I'm going to give you 5 key signs that you may be dominant metal element. Sit tight. Welcome back to another video. My name is Jen Palco. Today we're going to talk about none other than the metal element, and I'm going to give you some key signs that you may in fact have strong metal within you. What do I mean by that? Well, I do a lot of videos about the Chinese 5 elements, which is fire, earth, metal, water, wood. And this goes back to ancient Taoism and basically the way of looking at not only the elements out in nature, but also the elements within us. Now you might be saying, elements within us, what does that mean? So each element type have certain traits, personality traits, or prone to certain ailments under stress, or have a lot of things associated with them, say a certain emotion that comes out, or food cravings, things like that. So it can tell you a lot about yourself, knowing which are your stronger and which are your more weaker elements. So you have all 5 within you. This is what I'm going to repeat in every single video because people think they're just one element type, and that's not true. But what I want to explain is that we usually have 1 or 2 elements that are more primary for us, okay? They're kind of like our constitutional element, what we're born with, and it's basically how we filter the world around us. So each of us has almost a life theme, okay? And that's what I'm going to get into. So metal, good old metal. All right, so number 1 sign that you might have metal as one of your dominant or primary elements is people tend to think that you're cold in nature, okay? You don't make a lot of facial expressions. People might think you're bitchy. You tend to have a poker face. So the thing about the metal element, they're not the most expressive, okay, in day-to-day life, all right? They may be pale, poker face, like I said, and come across as cold to other people. It's not that they are that way, it's just that the appearance, okay, because they don't make a lot of facial expressions, don't have a lot of wrinkles in a lot of cases, so that's always a good thing. So they may not smile as much as, say, a fire, okay, who's very expressive. It tends to have more wrinkles, okay? So metals are more aloof. So if you're the type of person where you find yourself not smiling in a lot of cases, that's okay. It's just your metalness, all right? So you're not actually cold, that's just you. You're more selective in how you express yourself. You're more selective in speaking, okay? So you're not talking just to talk. You're very selective. Metal people are usually very selective in conversation, okay? They're not going to say something unless they really have to, all right? Unlike some people we know who need to just talk. Number 2, you have high moral values, not only for yourself, but for other people. Manners and etiquette are very important to you. But on the other hand, you are also prone, if you have strong metal, at being very self-critical, okay? Almost like a perfectionist. You may be prone to self-esteem issues if you're not careful. So this is kind of the essence of metal, right? Likes things polished, likes things very precise. And it's more like being critical, not of other people, when things don't happen, but being critical of yourself, okay? Self-esteem, like I said, is a big factor for a lot of metal folks out there. Number 3, you may be prone to more respiratory kind of illnesses, colds, skin issues. So the organ systems associated with metal are the lungs and the large intestine. But usually, if metal is one of your primary elements, dominant elements, your physical ailments may show as more respiratory in nature, okay? Having to do with the lungs, immune system, things like that, having to do with the skin. So you may get rashes, that sort of thing. So if you're under stress, if you're overwhelmed, your physical symptoms, as opposed to maybe like a water person, their physical symptoms may come out, say, through back pain or bone issues. For the metal element, it may usually come out as some sort of respiratory issue. And like I said, maybe a rash or hives, things like that. Number 4, you may be somewhat of a germaphobe. And you also have a tendency, you could be sensitive to certain foods, fabrics, chemicals, the tag that's itching you on your back. You can't wear certain materials that bother you. Again, this goes back to the layer of the skin. It may give you hives, rashes, because you're a little more sensitive. It has to do with the immune system. But you also like cleanliness, purity. So if you think of the lungs, inhaling clean, pure air and then exhaling all the stuff out, all the other stuff out. Number 5 sign that you may have a lot of metal within you. You don't like a lot of clutter and you need your personal space. So you may not like to be around a lot of people. If you are, you need a little bit of space around them. Personal boundaries are important to you. So if you think of the immune system and the skin, it's a protective layer. As a metal, you will feel that need to be protected and have that boundary. If somebody does you wrong, you're not afraid to just cut them off. Okay, so you're not going to coddle somebody and you're not going to be needy with somebody or be a people pleaser. You will just cut them off and walk away. That's just your nature. That's your strength. It's like the sword that just cuts people down if they do you wrong. Again, it's about you want respect from people. You want that validation, that acknowledgement, but most of all, you have high moral values and you expect other people to adhere to that as well. So, you like things in order, clean, you know, you're not gonna have a lot of junk around your house. So, if you're with an earthy type of person, you may get a little uptight about it, unless you have a strong earth within you, in which case you're going to balance that out a little bit. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you think you have strong metal within you. Subscribe for more videos on everything 5 element. I'll put links to a bunch of other videos I've done below on all kinds of stuff. And until next time, I will see you on the next video. Peace out.